viewed in 3 words the one where the new elimination chamber was made.
2017.
And then Ollie said in the best delivery I've ever heard, chamber went woke. It's fucking hilarious.
Because they put padding on the floors.
But it's so funny.
And guess what? And then they let the women wrestle inside the chamber. How awful. We can't have that.
It's like, I can imagine if they didn't change it until like now, a bunch of the fandom who are probably siding on that side actually calling it woke. And his delivery of that, it makes it's perfect because that's how they would fucking sound like. Chamber went woke.
Yeah, because they added padding and they made the pods bigger so they can breathe.
Yeah, man. Remember when wrestling could be fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need workers' safety. We just need ruthless aggression.
That's so fucking woke.
Anyway, hello and welcome to WWE Clash at the Castle review. This is the second one from Scotland, and it's a little bit delayed, but that's okay. And we have a very funny circumstance where both of the people involved in the predictions got exactly the same amount of points. 7 points, therefore the champion retains because you can't win on a draw.
Yeah.
You can win a vacant belt on a draw, but you cannot beat a champion on a draw. So hard luck. Because
we both had different people picked.
Because despite the fact that Callum got 4 points for the main event, still didn't win because Regan was able to predict that the Scottish ladies would win the women's tag belts.
Yes, boy.
On top of the fact that you got all 5 matches correct.
Yeah, buddy.
I was so smug about it as well.
I'll be honest. I watched while I was watching the show, I was watching your prediction video, and the only reason I picked those girls to win is because a few days before it on Instagram, I saw the post saying that the girl's mum died.
Yeah, we knew that too. Callum knew that too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was like, there's no way it's been in Scotland and not one of the home people is going to win, and there was no way it was going to be Piper.
When that result actually happened, and then thought that was really stupid of me. Of course, at least one of them is going to win.
Yeah, because
if they're not
going to be Piper.
Yeah.
So I was like, no.
But to be fair, we'll talk about it during the show. But my only reason why was because I thought the main event could have gone either way. But we'll talk about that when we get.
You should have gone for a safety. You would have won the championship if you'd predicted a safety pick.
I was too smug. To be fair, I got 2 big results wrong that I was very smug about, and I thought would happen.
And you know what's funny about it is that on that stream I said, well, I mean, and because I said, Regan predicts that Alba Fire and Isla Dawn will win, and you were like, really? I was like, well, he actually watches the full-length TV episodes, whereas we don't. And then Callum, you win, and I was like, well, yes, but I'm more attuned to the dirt sheets. As it turns out, the dirt sheets don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Yes, I won.
But yes, you are still the champion, which means the next pay-per-view, I think, is Forbidden Door. Is that correct, Callum? I think it's Forbidden Door?
I believe so.
I think Forbidden Door is
Money in the Bank.
I think Forbidden Door is before Money in the Bank.
I think Money in the Bank is July 6th.
2 weeks in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Money in the Bank, July 6th.
13 days from now.
Yeah, so Forbidden Door's first, which means Forbidden Door will be another number 1 contenders match.
Yep.
And then Money in
the Bank.
And then Money in the Bank will be the title match. And then the third person can compete in a 1-man ladder match for the briefcase. No, that would be stupid. That would genuinely be like just jumping the shark.
If it was a scenario when it was up to Money in the Bank, we all drew, we could. It's never going to happen, but then you can vacate it, and then whoever wins it. I don't know.
Well, that's like, I mean, I suppose that's like the 2014 one where they had the belt instead of the briefcase.
Yeah. Well, they had two because the original ladder match was actually meant to be for the briefcase, but because the championship got vacated, they had to make another match.
Yeah, they had to do two. They had to do two ladder matches.
Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, it made for a better show.
Funny. Yeah.
Regardless, Clash at the Castle.
Clash of the Castle.
I'll get the champion gets the honor. What was your initial thoughts on this show?
I thought it was very good. I didn't think the crowd was as loud as the French, but that was fine. It was still a very good show.
Mm-hmm.
Good camera work where you couldn't see who the referee was.
Yes, the camera work was very fun.
That was very good.
Yeah, I mean the camera work all round has been pretty consistent since
It's been consistently great since
since Lee Fitting came in and Mr. Dunn left.
Yeah, Mr. Dunn left. It's been considerably improved.
Yeah, and I'm sure the health and safety backstage has been improved since Johnny Ace got fired as well.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever messed with those ropes. Geez.
Oh yeah, that's one thing to talk about on this show is those ropes.
I mean, people were just bagging. People were bagging Jade, but literally in every match, someone slipped on the ropes. It wasn't just
springboards are not her strength, and the fact that the ropes weren't tight enough is not her fault.
No, everybody in every match something happened.
Yeah. However, though, credit to Zoe Stark, she managed to work with it.
Mm-hmm.
And ripped Damien's ankle.
Jesus Christ, that was scary. That's a big boy. Callum, what was your initial thoughts on Clash at the Castle?
I thought Clash of the Castle was actually a pretty decent show. I enjoyed almost every match. There was, I think, the one I did enjoy was the tag match. I think that was just fine, and the ending was a little bit sloppy with the botch, and then couldn't really recover. But overall, I think this show is really enjoyable, and everything that I wanted to happen in context did happen, and I was very happy about it. And the main event, I was smiling ear to ear from the finish because it's exactly what I wanted, and I loved it.
Yes, because you're evil and you want the evil man to sabotage the good man.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Glasgow was not happy.
The crowd loved him.
The
crowd loved him. He was in the crowd with them.
That's true. But there was that moment when Samantha Evans said, "I'm sorry if you didn't like the result, but I hope you get home safely," and they all booed her.
What?
They paid a lot of money to be at that show, and I guess they paid to see Drew win. But again, the same thing happened in Wales too. Is this going to be third time's a charm? Like it's going to be Clash at the Castle 3 in, I don't know, like England, that he'll finally win it? Who knows?
She was on Raw this week.
Mourning the resignation of Ricochet, possibly. But yeah, so my thoughts. I mean, I don't think this is like. I think this show isn't on the level as some of the other shows we've had this year. I think there's been better pay-per-views, but it was still good. I still enjoyed it. Certainly some fun moments. I think that the original Clash at the Castle in Wales was better than this, though, overall.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the stadium thing does make a big difference, but I think just as a show, it had a magic to it. This was still fun, but it was not on the same level as Wales. That Wales show was
insane.
Yeah, it was like one of the most... It was such a big
lightning
moment.
in a bottle is what I'd call it as well.
It was lightning in a bottle because we'd just come out of the Vince era as well. Like he had just left like 2 months before.
It was Trips' first fully built to show that he was creative for.
Yeah.
So
and it had all of his favorites on it as well.
Yeah.
It had so many of his favorites. Like it had Drew versus Roman. It had Gunther versus Sheamus. It had Damage Control's first big match. And there was a bunch of other stuff in that show too, but it was just, there was something about that show that just was so special. And this was still good, but I definitely think that it wasn't quite on the prestigious level that I maybe expected, but I still enjoyed the show regardless.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the opening match. I Quit with AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. I'll let Callum go first.
Yeah, from what I remember, I thought this was a very, in terms of I Quit matches, there are a lot that can be very slow and methodical, but poorly paced. I thought this match actually was very well done, and I think that both guys did a great job in not making it feel like it dragged, and it was very creative. And I actually really, really like the finish of this match. Instead of it being they are in a submission or something like that, it's they are about to be murdered, so they say I quit. I really like this match a lot.
Cody really Cody almost like having his Homelander moment and then going, "No, I cannot."
Yeah. It's the whole Homelander thing, which at times can be quite cringe.
It's funny. Yeah, The Boys season 4 is streaming now, so that's fitting.
Boy, did I care! If I cared, I would actually care.
That's for another video. But Cody and AJ, I agree. I think
really enjoyed this feud.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the best I Quit matches I've seen. It's up there. It's probably not probably not the best, but it's one of the best. And like you say, there was a lot of character in this match, which is expected with Cody anyway. But it was very the persistence of it and the beat down and like one other thing that it is done in quite a few I Quit matches, but one of the things that they just did really well was the whole thing of hitting all these moves, but then the person can't quit because they're knocked out, and then having to wake them up to try and get them to quit. It's an interesting conundrum that you get with an I Quit match where you want to beat them down to a point where they give up, but at the same time, you don't want to knock them out because then they can't say the words. Which is fascinating.
I'm always glad they don't do the really stupid finish of Rock Mankind, where they just play audio over it, because that's not. I quit. Why then? Why not just do it straight away? And then also, can that easily be rectified? No, I guess not. It's all dumb.
I also think, in terms of the structure, I like that they got the I don't think silly is the right word, but they got the whole outside of the ring stuff out the way first before it kind of got more serious.
They made it feel a lot more chaotic, yeah.
Yeah, because if they'd done that late in the match, I think it would have been a bit strange.
Yeah, doing that in the first like 5-10 minutes is great, and then you can have all the crescendo part of it be in the ring, and it be about the work rate, which is
and about the people, about the characters actually. But I did love though at the start the way that they went out across the barricade and they went to the back and he was like choking him with a cable and all that sort of thing. That was fun. That's another thing I will say. We're talking about camera work. Lee Fitting during this match was great. He did a very good job of capturing all the stuff.
When Cody threw the chair at Styles and then they went through the table, that was
amazing. The timing on that.
So good. Such a great spot.
Not only the timing from AJ, but the timing from the camera work as well. Yeah. It was brilliant. It was like this beautiful mousetrap construction that they did. Yeah. Everything just
it was just so seamless. It's a creative spot that is done so seamlessly.
Everyone was because
he goes for the forearm, gets hit, but then crash lands into table, and it's just it's so satisfying.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that AJ is so precise. He's so good at nailing everything that it makes him so reliable with this sort of thing. Because he has such a good awareness of what's behind him and what's in front of him.
He got smacked on by Cody's mama.
That was funny.
Also, a lot of people think the spot when they both go over the top rope with a suplex is a botch when it clearly isn't.
It's not.
It was very much done on purpose.
It's like an actual
very on purpose.
It's a technical thing. Like it happens in a lot of matches where maybe not fit matches. Something that we have
I
mentioned.
thought that was an accident.
No,
No,
it
was very clearly done on purpose.
It's done on purpose. Yeah.
Shit, well, it looks sore.
Yeah. Another thing that they did was AJ did a brainbuster to Cody on the announce table with the cover on.
Yes, he did it right after. Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal.
Very good.
Good match to start the show.
Yeah, and there was
I prefer the
crowd hyped up.
backlash match though to this.
Yeah, backlash match was probably cleaner than this. It was.
Well,
it was
more of a wrestling match.
Yeah, it had a more sort of more of a consistent flow, but this definitely dug deep character-wise for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It also dug deep. It dug deep into their skin too, because they both bled.
Oh, and I saw him do the triple crossroads, and I just thought, oh, Callum's not going to like this.
Yeah, what did you think about? I mean, it's just an I Quit match. You'd want to do it, wouldn't you? Logically. What did you think about thematically, Callum? What do you think of that?
I think it slightly works better here because it's a blood feud. It worked, and this is the end of the feud, so it works a lot better than just doing it in a random pay-per-view match. So this doesn't bug me as much as it normally does.
Imagine if he did it on TV.
Especially when the idea of it is to punish your opponent, and the idea is that if you keep doing it, eventually they're just going to be like, I can't take it anymore. I quit. So here it actually works better thematically. Yeah. Rather than doing it in every fucking match, especially one against Dominic fucking Mysterio.
Yeah, that was silly.
Yeah, that's when it got really silly around that time.
He just had to bring out the gay people.
The gay community.
The gay community. Also, I love the setup for the style clash on the steps because he did that on his retirement, quote unquote, promo.
Yeah.
That little bit was really neat. A little callback to that, which was really good. But yeah, this match, was really good. I think it is while it isn't as good as the Backlash match, this is a good follow-up. It's still a very, very good end to their feud, which has been actually really enjoyable. And it's nice to have a feud that lasted 3 pay-per-views, but they didn't have a match in between.
Yeah,
they let it build after he lost the first match, and you built a story around him getting that shot again without having to do the work.
And they did the Logan Paul match in Saudi Arabia in the middle of it.
Yeah, which was very good.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
So this first feud for Cody since winning the belt has been actually really well done.
You think he would have got his mates out to help him, though?
What, Styles?
Yeah, why didn't he get his goons
Get the Good Brothers? I think that is... I'm actually surprised they didn't do anything like that.
Well, they've been too busy hanging out with CM Punk eating eating takeaways. And also, it's possible that if I'm going to go headcanon here, you could argue that they weren't allowed to go to Scotland. They weren't given the visas to go. You could maybe say that.
Well, my thing would be Styles wants to do it by himself.
That's true.
He's a dirtbag heel, but he would want to do it on his own, beat the shit out of Cody and win it by himself and humiliate him. That works a lot better.
Now, I want to talk about something really funny that made me laugh. So Cody is celebrating with the title, and then in walks Solo Sikoa just really casually, standing next to him. And he's just standing there. And then he turns to him, and then Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come out.
And then Randy Orton comes out.
And Kevin Owens,
Yeah.
But this was all build up because this was leading to the most recent SmackDown when we got finally the debut of Jacob Fatu.
Awesome.
Fucking love Jacob Fatu.
Everything on that SmackDown was just so action packed. It was so packed in.
It was a huge.
Huge
SmackDown.
It was a bit stupid though on that SmackDown because when Cody was on the table and dude was going to jump off the top rope, if Corey and Wade are Cody's friend, they'll tell the dude not to jump.
But they're not.
They just pull Cody off the table.
They don't want to get involved because that's not their job.
I know, but it's dumb. Because obviously it's not. It's fake.
But Regan, but listen. If you were a commentator, would you want beef with Jacob Fatu?
And the Bloodline when they're meant to be the big bad of WWE.
Where Barrett's retired. He's a retired bare knuckle fighter.
And Corey Graves in kayfabe has also retired due to injury.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to have beef with Jacob Fatu, even if I was friends with Cody.
Yeah,
let alone if I was a commentator.
Yeah, you're not winning that.
Yeah, like if I was gonna have beef with Jacob Fatu, it either has to be because I feel like I have a chance, which is unlikely, or it's because I'm trying to do it for a good cause and I want any possibility. But if you're a commentator, why would you get involved in that?
Yeah.
Bit of fun.
A bit of fun. Okay.
What are your thoughts on Solo being the next challenger?
Stupid. Should be Randy Orton.
What if Roman's coming back though?
Well, Solo said he's not.
But he might, because they're going to turn Roman face as tribal chief.
Okay, well, I mean, my ideal scenario for SummerSlam, I mean, Money in the Bank maybe is different, but if we're talking SummerSlam, like we're talking like actually big match, I would prefer if it was Roman versus Solo Sikoa and Cody versus Randy Orton.
Well, I feel like they are going to have a match at Money in the Bank, and it is going to be Solo and Cody.
I mean, they are desperately trying. They are desperately trying to get the new bloodline over, and if this allows him to be in a spotlight for then eventually Roman Reigns to come back and have a feud with him, it could be a good idea.
Just why come back and they think
he's turned into a robot.
No,
Dalek.
We're fine. We're Southern Hemisphere. We're fine.
Exterminate.
My vision is impaired. I cannot see. That's what you were.
Is it fixed now?
Yes, it's fixed.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. What my expectations is, Roman's going to return, and then you think he's going to spear Cody. He then spears Solo, and turns face.
And then he becomes the big dog again.
No, he's face tribal chief.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I expect to happen.
Oh god, suffering succotash.
No, the big dog is part of the Vince era and hopefully will never ever return.
Yeah, no, tribal chief will turn face, and then you'll have OG bloodline against new bloodline 3-on-3.
You know, like for like years and years, people were saying, "Oh, bring back Thugonomics Cena." Like, we don't want that with Big Dog Roman Reigns.
I don't want either back. No.
Anyway,
you got donkey dongs for brains.
You know, Jack and the Beanstalk up here, and you keep climbing. You keep climbing and counting all them beans.
Jesus Christ, it's like when Cena said, like his fucking cringe email.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Baloney fudging mustard. My life is being ruined by the internet.
Oh my god.
Cringe.
2010 was bad.
I haven't been this embarrassed since my mom canceled my subscription to Warcraft.
2010 was bad.
That's so cringe. It's so bad.
And fucking Edge, like,
no, but Cena. Yeah, but Connor, Cena's the GOAT though, so shut up.
When Edge abducts Paul Bearer and then like he has to do PG things to him, he can't like actually torture him.
No.
So he, like, I don't know, like, covers.
Well, no, he does it. He does it over multiple weeks, so he has to take him to state, and he has to be fed then if that's the case.
Remember when
that's so stupid.
Remember when Jack Swagger was world champion?
Well, no, because I wasn't watching at the time, so thankfully I don't have to live through that.
The fucking Soaring Eagle versus Hornswoggle was a match.
Weed the people.
No, that was 3 years after that. This was clean Jack Swagger. This is all American.
Oh yeah, check 1 2.
Anyway, women's tag match, triple threat. Now I said on the predictions, I was like, oh, I assume this is going to be traditional rules. It was not. This was an actual triple threat match.
Yes, as it always should be, and I don't care what the wrestlers say. This is how it always should be.
Yes, and then I was just like, surely there's a reason for that, and the reason was so that they could get the belts off Jade and Bianca without beating them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad it was a triple.
But the thing is, this is how it should be every time they do this.
Yes, not pick and choose. I hate it so much when they pick and choose.
Not tag. Because why would you tag out the person who's not your opponent? Like, you're not going to tag in someone that's not.
It has to either be done by accident or out of desperation.
And
or they reach for you. But yeah, this was good.
Yeah, doing an actual triple threat tag team match that has three legal members, and you can only tag in your partner. Like, I know it is a lot for the referee to deal with, but it is the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to have if you need to have two referees, just have two referees. Have one on the outside, an outside enforcer.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Mm-hmm.
But yes, this was definitely the sloppiest match on the show, though, I will say.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was both, like, there was both slop and botches, but at the same time, there was also a lot of intensity as well. There's a lot of hard-hitting stuff.
There was some good stuff in this match.
But you could tell they were really trying to make this work.
Oh, so, yeah, they put a lot of hard work into this match.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it is a balance of positive and negative, and I think it's a fine match. And it was a nice surprise for the Scots women.
Yeah, I generally didn't think that was happening.
Yeah, because you didn't predict it, and now you're not the champion.
No.
Callum, do you think this means that...
Because here's the thing. It's the same as Piper in that they didn't have a build-up to it. The team wasn't built up to...
Callum, it's the women's tag belts. They don't matter.
But I want them to matter. I want them to at least try.
Funnily enough, it seems lately the women's tag belts have mattered more than the men's tag belts.
Yeah, I forgot that Awesome Truth still have the belts.
And
somehow, even though Truth
have they even defended it? I don't even know that they have.
They defend it every week. They defend it
on TV.
All the time.
They do. On TV, they do.
No one ever talks about it.
No, they defend it on Raw all the time because Truth puts them into random matches.
And also the SmackDown tag belts as well. Do they defend those on TV?
No, they keep having one-on-one matches against DIY, but I think DIY have a shot now at some stage.
I imagine it would be Money in the Bank, right?
You'd hope so.
Because on this SmackDown, Grayson Waller was in a qualifying match for Money in the Bank.
Just get the belts on DIY and have them have matches every week.
There was a moment where Jade did a kip up and she nearly stood on one of their heads.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. She got to chill with that.
Because she twisted her body around when she did it to the left, and she has quite big shoes, and she actually did stand on their hair, but it wasn't their head. So at least it wasn't their head.
My god, that's lucky.
Yeah. Because it was too close to their body, and their body like rolled towards her. But it's all right. It's all right.
Deadly.
Remember what was it? Oksana kneed, who was it? Naomi in the eye. That was fucked. Like back in like 2014, she like broke her orbital bone.
Oh god.
Oksana, shortly released after that. Regardless, do we think that this? I mean, Callum, you said in the predictions that you think Jade and Bianca is a WrestleMania match, but now that they've lost the belts, do you think that could be sooner?
Well, I guess the biggest place to do it would be SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't a bad place for it.
Because I've always thought that, because this year, the original plan with Bianca was a match with Charlotte, but then Charlotte tore ACL.
Yeah.
They might want to do that next year's Mania.
True. So I guess SummerSlam would be, you have Jade turn heel, and they have a match at SummerSlam and Jade wins, which probably would be the right choice.
I agree.
And then I imagine they want Bianca to still have her undefeated streak for like a long time.
At Mania.
Mania. And then they'll have her beat Charlotte.
Oh, well, you don't want Charlotte Flair to beat Bianca. That's just a silly idea.
Yeah, no, agreed.
It's a shame, though, because I was looking forward to that because it meant that we would have a women's match at WrestleMania that had no title involved. It was just a blood feud. But that didn't happen. But maybe it'll happen next year. Yeah. But yeah, they needed to fix those bloody ropes. That's what I will say about this match.
They just were very loose.
She's lucky she didn't injure herself or anyone else.
It was nice that they gave them like a bouquet of flowers after they won. That was cool.
That was cool.
Sponsored by Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah, I noticed. Thankfully, it wasn't on like any like turnbuckles or on the side. It was actually just on the banners around the arena, which was a little bit more subtler, which works better.
Who was screwing with the internet?
I have no idea. Someone at your place then.
Well, what I was saying is that the next match was Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. And at this point in the show, it was when my flatmate Daniel started watching, and he was a very, very big fan of Maxine Dupree.
I mean, she's very attractive.
Daniel. Bloody Daniel. Of course.
He's like, he did like the Homer Simpson drool.
Daniel.
When really the star of the show here is Otis, so come on.
That's true, actually, and he did like Otis. He thought it was very funny. And you're probably right, actually. I think Otis is my favorite thing about this match. He was so fun.
He's my favorite part coming out of it. Yeah.
Anyway, Regan, what were your thoughts on Sami versus Chad?
Shit, I can't really remember it, but I know it would have been a good match because those two are freaks.
Yes, they are. I mean, the athleticism was great.
Gold medalist and all.
Yeah. I think the story thing is with this is that Chad Gable, despite being a superior athlete to Sami Zayn, can't win.
He can't win the big one.
He can't win because he doesn't have his head in the right place. That's the problem.
Because he keeps telling other people what to do, and he gets distracted.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's a really good character.
It's a self-sabotaging character because he is one of the best athletes.
Be good when he finally has a match against Otis, that'll be good.
That's true. But yeah, he's a self-sabotaging character, and despite being a superior athlete, he always loses because he's too obsessed with winning because of how... Basically, it all stems from the fact that he couldn't beat Gunther. And he shouldn't be as hard on him.
He does the ankle lock. God, he looks like he's going to break it.
Yeah, I mean, he is... He really should have been Kurt Angle's son, not Jason Jordan.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, Trips has done a really good job at making the IC belt, again, feel like the work rate belt, like it used to be way back when.
That's right.
And I'm really enjoying the story implications of all surrounding it as well. I think this division is actually doing a very good job.
Yes. And...
Just personally, I probably would have had Chad win. I don't know. I would want Chad with the belt.
Yeah, holding it off. You know what Triple H is like? He always holds off.
Yeah. Long-term storytelling.
He loves his foreplay booking, Triple H.
Yeah.
But except, I mean, Sammy, he's done now. Sammy said, no more for you.
Yeah.
Well, he's done with Sami Zayn, but Chad Gable could challenge for the belt if someone else beats him.
Yeah.
Or I guess he could make Otis challenge him. I don't know.
He does like a Luchasaurus with Christian Cage. Because that happened in AEW. Luchasaurus won the TNT title and Christian pretended it was his belt.
Until it was then his.
Until it was actually his belt, and then he lost it to Edge. And then won it again, and then lost it again.
Yeah.
But
this match was bloody awesome. I loved it.
But unlike Luchasaurus, Otis is very much done, I think. with Chad.
After but I don't think he actually is after what happened on
on
Raw.
Raw, he left. Yeah.
Not only that,
Because
but
Chad's going to make them feel bad for leaving him, and then he got attacked.
then he got brutalized by the Wyatt Six.
Oh yeah, he's dead. Chad Gable's dead.
But he's not. He's competing on Raw tomorrow, which is yeah.
Even though he looked like he had a bullet wound in his head.
Man got shot in the head, but he's good.
Yeah, what I imagine is going to happen in terms of the character.
He should. I know. Technically, we've already had this with the guns. They've already had this entrance theme, but he should come out to Many Men by 50 Cent because he got shot and he survived. You got shot, many men.
What I'm expecting to happen is Chad will make Otis and Dupree feel bad for leaving him on Raw.
Oh yeah, gaslighting,
So
obviously.
Gaslighting them back into the fold. And I imagine there'll be probably a match with the Wyatt Six at some point, I guess, because Chad was the only actual wrestler on that segment to actually be shown. Everyone else was all extras and stuff. So I guess the feud is going to be with the Wyatt Six. Yeah. Because none of the other people shown were actual wrestlers, were all extras.
I was doing some maths. And
Steiner maths.
Yeah, Steiner maths. If they either don't have two of the Wyatt Six compete in a match, or they add two, they could face the Final Testament, because the Final Testament has one female wrestler in it, and it has three male wrestlers in it. The Wyatt Six has one female and 5 male wrestlers. That is a potential. I know that Karrion Kross and Bray Wyatt were good friends. I think it could work, but we'll see. I mean, they are both heel teams, so I don't know. Wait, are they heel though? Are the Wyatt Six heel, or are they just tweener? Are they just a chaotic force? Uncle Howdy. I mean, I remember, what was it? When Bray Wyatt was still alive, when he was still around, his last feud was with LA Knight when LA Knight was heel, but Uncle Howdy was a heel character with Bray. I don't know. It was very strange. I can't figure it out. But I guess we'll find out. I mean, at least they're given something for Dexter Lumis to do, because he needed that. And Joe Gacy and Nikki Cross and Bo Dallas and Eric Rowan.
Bo Dallas, do you believe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, people have been saying it all started when he ran over El Torito on Raw.
He killed El Torito. And now he killed Chad Gable.
Yep, he's a murderer. Anyway, but yes, I liked predominantly what they did with Otis in this match, and the whole thing of that. There's that whole shot where Chad accidentally has Maxine fall to the floor despite being injured, and Otis and Chad look at each other with anger. Or Chad's scared of him.
He takes her ankle out.
It was very, very entertaining. And then Otis, always the savior of the damsel, like he was with Mandy Rose, and now is with Maxine. Oh, and the meme that's been going around when Chad Gable loses the match and he looks down the camera. It's fucking hilarious.
Honestly, he is just such a great performer. He's so good. It's just one of the many reasons I want him to have the belt, because he's like such an insanely good talent.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has said it, but he's the closest thing we've had to Kurt Angle since Kurt retired.
Yeah, he is so good. I really want in 1 or 2 years' time him actually like being a world champion, because I think he's good enough to be on that level.
It's gonna take time.
That's why I said 1 to 2 years.
Look, let's not forget, it was only a few years ago.
He has resigned. He has resigned. So
he has, because Triple H kept his promises to him. If this was still Vince, he would have gone to AEW 100%. I guarantee it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
He would have left.
Didn't they make him like a gangster or something?
Well, I was gonna.
No, they made him into a fucking high school person, Shorty G.
A high school, yeah, they called him Shorty G.
God.
Yeah, basketball, whatever.
Embarrassing.
Really bad. Thank God he's actually getting to be an actual, wrestler.
Yeah, at the moment, this is the best stuff he's probably done since American Alpha, I'd say.
Yeah, since NXT, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really good fucking match.
Oh, yeah, because there was main roster American Alpha, wasn't there? I forgot about that.
It was. But then shortly after that, Jason Jordan turned into Kurt Angle's kid.
Yeah, and then Jason Jordan had to retire. But apparently he's a very good producer now.
Yeah, he's doing good stuff.
There's some really good producers in WWE right now, actually.
Yeah, you got
Jason Jordan, you got
Bobby
Tyson
Roode.
Kidd. Tyson Kidd's a producer. He's fantastic.
Yeah, Bobby Roode doing well.
Devon Dudley.
Mm-hmm. Isn't he not there now? Didn't he leave a couple of years ago?
I think he may have, but he was there.
But he was there for a while, yeah.
And then Finley was also... Is he still there? I can't remember.
Yeah, Finley's still there.
Yeah, he does the women's matches, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, we had Bayley versus Piper Niven. Funnily enough, just like the last match, my favourite thing about it wasn't even the people in the match. It was Chelsea Green, who was at ringside.
Chelsea Green!
And she's in Money in the Bank. And that's awesome. I love that she's in Money in the Bank.
She thinks she's John Cena. She came in with the lucha mask on.
Oh yeah, Juan Cena.
That was so good.
When the Nexus fired him. But yeah, Chelsea Green
pushed her to the absolute moon.
She came back out with a mask and it was Charles Robinson, I think. Yeah, Charles Robinson.
There's a really good.
Yeah, it was Charles. Yeah.
On after Raw when she won her triple threat match, there's a really good backstage clip where she says, "With great power comes great responsibility." Now screw that. I'm just the best. She is amazing. She is fantastic. Give her all the belts.
You just reminded me, Regan, when we used to play 2K14 and I'd attack the referee, you'd be like, "Oh, sad Charles." You had so much empathy for the referee.
You gotta love Charles.
I used to throw the steel steps at Charles Robinson if it was Extreme Rules.
Poor guy.
You're like, Charles did nothing wrong. He's little Nate. Remember when Randy Savage fucking burst his chest with an elbow drop? Us in WCW. I showed you that, didn't I? Randy Savage did an elbow drop to Charles Robinson and his chest got injured. It was brutal.
Poor guy.
Yeah. But outside of that, what were our thoughts on Bayley versus Piper Niven?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, the issue is that, again, there's another wrestler, Piper Niven, who is fantastic. She's a great wrestler. And of course, she was always going to get a big pop. But they haven't built her towards, actually being a worthy contender.
There was no way she was going to win.
Yeah, no one believes it. No one believes she
The big match is Bayley versus Nia Jax at SummerSlam.
Especially given that we already had the Scottish women win the tag belts earlier in the night.
We had the Scottish women win, so that was it.
We were just like, well, and I think people figured out, you can't have all three. They were hoping for Drew. They knew about Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn. So they're just like, yeah, it's not going to be Piper. Mm-hmm. Maybe if Jade and Bianca had retained, or if they'd flipped the order around, maybe they would have believed it. But even then, it's a stretch.
No,
but
like he's going to go 3 for 3.
But yeah, like you say, Colin, the problem with Piper Niven is she's been presented as lower mid card for most of her main roster run, and that's an issue.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, this is the issue. She's in a really great, thing with Chelsea, but in terms of actually building her to be a credible contender, they haven't done any build up. They've just done, she's from Scotland, therefore she will get cheered anyway. And we know she's not going to win, so we don't actually have to do the work, which I think
she didn't really get cheered that much. Everyone was cheering for Bayley more. They were all
true.
Well, because they're both faces, yeah.
The Hey Bayley song.
And obviously Bayley's over in the UK and always has been.
Yeah, she's bloody great.
Ever since TakeOver London in 2015, which was actually, funnily enough, Bayley versus Nia Jax was the match.
Mm-hmm.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
Bad Nia Jax.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, that was very green Nia Jax back then. But Bailey carried that match.
She's only there because she's The Rock's cousin's man.
I've just rewatched the clip when Chelsea comes back out with the mask. It's so good. It's
it's no surprise that she's married to Zack Ryder. It's just not. It just makes sense. It's the same thing like what we say, Callum, about like how Tony Storm and Juice Robinson are married. It's like, yeah, you understand it. They're so similar. They have the same like sense of humor and everything.
Yeah. And that's Chelsea Green is the embodiment of maximizing your minutes.
That's right. I love the story though about how she literally just like texted Triple H one day and said, "Hey, give me my job back." He's like, "All right, sure."
Yeah, she knows. Ever since seeing her on Tough Enough, she knows what pro wrestling is. She just gets it.
She was also a late entry too. She was not an initial contestant.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that. Yeah.
She replaced someone who quit. There was someone who actually quit the role, and she replaced her.
I remember. Yeah,
and she was
season looking back is very
Well, the problem is that the most talented guy was Patrick Clark, but he ended up being a problem of a person,
a bad man,
a very bad man. But he will always.
That season is so crazy to throw back on because you have obviously
Mandy
Chelsea.
Rose.
You've then
Mandy
got
Rose is on there.
You got Mandy Rose,
Sonya Deville.
Yeah, it's just that's crazy.
Yeah. That said, Velveteen Dream will always be iconic because he was the first person to react to Ricochet front flipping over the rope.
Yeah, and then they had to redo that because everything that happened with him.
Yes, they had to redo it with Logan Paul, didn't they? Was it Logan Paul?
Yeah, but now Ricochet's now gone, so...
The thing is, though, some people would argue that Logan Paul is also a problem, but in a different way.
He's just a bit of a knob at the moment, but not as bad as he used to be.
Well, not to get political, but he is friends with old Donald.
Yeah, it's really bad, real bad look.
34 rape convictions or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's right, he is. And when he got inducted at WrestleMania 29, he walked past Zeb Coulter and said, "I really like what you're doing."
Yeah, Trump thinks he's like the biggest babyface.
Obviously, Dutch Mantel is playing a racist character. He's not actually racist. And he's like, what the fuck just happened?
I think you're doing some real good stuff. You're making up some real good points.
Yeah, great. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall, the Donald Trump in the same room as Alberto Del Rio at that show, because that would have been tense. Anyway, and also a noticeable dipshit as well, Del Rio. God, there's so many. Why is there so many bad people in wrestling? It's very annoying.
Well, every industry has bad people. Unfortunately, they just unfortunately exist.
That's true, but why is it? I feel like wrestling is like it's like a really specially annoying kind of list of bad people. It's just so. It's like, why did it have to be you? Why did it have to be you?
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
From looking at a lot of things, yeah.
Because you know that I'm toxic. Yeah, it's sad. Anyway, Bailey retained.
Right result and decent match.
Yep. Then we got the main event.
The main event
of the show. We had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. No Broken Dreams intro, sadly.
Yeah, sad.
I was hoping for that. Maybe they'll
they
give
played it earlier in the show, and then I was like, they're not going to do it for this.
Yeah, they had that a cappella thing in the video package. But
he ain't getting it.
Do you think they will give it to him on the show where he actually wins?
No.
I
don't think it's coming back now.
They just don't want to pay Jim Johnston royalties.
No, I guess not.
It's sad.
Just the one time at the Clash of the Castle in Wales, and that was it. Yeah.
Well, The Rock gets Jim Johnston. He got a new Jim Johnston remix.
Yeah, but he's The Rock. He can pay for it.
He's The Rock.
It's the final boss.
Yeah.
I would just one time, give me the full entrance, please. Such a good song.
Stop being such a mark.
Just do it yourself.
And I dream broken dreams.
Just make Drew in the game and then do it.
Or I'll just edit. I'll edit the pay-per-view. I'll hack the pay-per-view and I'll edit it. I mean, look.
Yeah, get Ferris to help.
Tony Khan is willing to pay $200,000 to play Final Countdown on his shows. That's how much it costs, by the way. One play of Final Countdown is $200,000 US. Ridiculous.
The Europe song.
Yeah.
Jeez, boy.
200,000 per play, with perpetuity, obviously. But anyway, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Callum, you give your thoughts.
I thought this match fucking ruled. I loved this match a whole bunch. It was my favorite thing on the show. I actually think that Priest gained, as I've got a lot of respect for Priest just in general, but I think
he's underrated.
Match,
I think Twitter gives him a lot of hate, and it's not deserved. He's really good at what he does.
He's like one of the most professional workers in the company right now. I feel like we mentioned this on the predictions as well.
Everyone hated him at the press conference.
Yeah, he's honestly
like, 2 more months of this.
Such an underrated worker.
Stand up for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
God, I've never seen McIntyre fly over the top rope.
Well, he's done it all.
Insane for a big man.
He's done it for his whole career.
I've not seen it. I guess I haven't seen it in his recent matches.
He did it in the WLC match.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I feel like this match was like really great, and I think the adaptability of the guys during it, with the potential injury of Priest with the ankle, was a really great little ninkle in the match. And Priest sold it just really well. Thankfully, he's all good.
He was stuck in there for ages.
Yeah, that was really worrying.
He's very lucky.
But there was like so many great spots with Priest and Drew, and I felt the atmosphere of it all was just so great. And yeah, this match was just really good. It was a really good world title match. And Drew's just been
on the fly. I thought they were going to switch it and have Drew win once he injured himself.
Nah,
I still felt they wouldn't have Priest win either way. I think this was the match I was. This is the match I was the most confident.
Listen, Regan, you don't pay to have CM Punk fly there and then not use him.
Yeah, true. That was so good. You could just see someone coming down the ramp, but you couldn't see who it was.
I knew exactly who it was. I knew.
Well, I mean, you figured it was a ref. But yeah, I was like,
I was disappointed because CM Punk said he was going to come out of a bowl of haggis and he didn't. He's a liar. That hypocrite CM Punk, he's always a liar.
The moment and I actually will give credit to the ref bump, because I actually think it was actually really well done. Because initially the ref quite expertly jumps out of the ring. Like, it was crazy. Like, he fully just jumped out. It was like really, really fast. Then he gets back on the apron and then is knocked out again and flies across into the barricade. So in terms of ref bumps, it was actually really well done.
Yeah, he took a big bump.
And then again, I fucking love the Claymore. It is one of my favorite finishes in wrestling right now. Just so I'm running something is always great, and a kick to the head is love it. And as soon as that happened, I just knew here comes Punk in a ref shirt, and lo and behold, puts up the fuck you, which is very classic here in the UK.
Yep.
Loved it. Absolutely beautiful finish.
Yeah, they flew
because Damian Priest had no idea what happened, so it looks like he's still didn't need anyone's help.
That's true. CM Punk hugged
He
Paul
didn't know
Heyman
what
on
happened.
SmackDown, by the way. That was cool.
Yes, and
I
Paul
lost my
Heyman
mind.
said, "Take me with you. Get me out of the
Yeah,
bloodline."
that was the best thing to happen that day. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah. That's on the other channel.
Yep. Yeah, but this finish was great. I loved it. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love this feud.
Yes.
Because now it's gone from like on internet trolling to actually despising one another brutally.
If anyone saw the press conference, CM Punk basically outlined his rationale behind his decisions in kayfabe, which was great. Explained that, his main purpose is to prevent McIntyre from having that moment. That is what he wants.
This is not about getting a bigger payday. This is not what this feud is.
No, it's not even about CM Punk like having the best shot at the belt either. It's about stopping McIntyre from having that moment. It's not letting him have the satisfaction.
I've got this image of a guy who just comes up and points at Punk while there's like 3 other guys with Punk shirts cheering him on.
Yeah.
A guy literally walks up and just starts pointing at him as though, you fucker. Yeah. It's so good. Oh, I love it. I love this finish so much. I love how pissed off Scotland is. It's so good. I love it so much. I love the tears. It's so great.
You know what's
And then Drew quits, and then he attacks Punk on SmackDown.
Yeah. He's a rogue now.
He messed him up.
He is a rogue.
He made him, eat a whole bucket of like jelly.
When this feud one day is said and done and Drew versus Punk is no longer a thing, I might cry. Because this has been the best, most entertaining thing in wrestling all year.
I think we can safely say that Punk is cleared.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a match at SummerSlam. He's going to go away for a while, Punk, because obviously I think that's the best way to use Punk at the moment is have him there for a couple of weeks and then out for kayfabe reasons. And then you build to the match at SummerSlam. And I don't know who wins. I don't know who, if they have a match, who wins.
Depends on the story. It depends what they want to do with it, and it depends.
I would imagine Punk wins.
And it depends on how many matches they want to have. That's the other thing too.
I think they're going to have just the one match at SummerSlam.
And it also depends what they want to do after. Oh shit! I just rewatched that moment where Damian Priest flung his ankle into the rope. That is nasty. What happened to him there? He's lucky he's not injured. Genuinely, he's very lucky.
He's lucky to vacate the title.
He's lucky he didn't bash his head on the apron. I also really liked Damian Priest in the press conference as well, because he explained like, oh well, everyone says, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not this and you're not that, and yet here I am, not a transitional champion. Months later, so where are your excuses? And he's basically his whole idea is like, what is the next thing that I can prove wrong? And but I think what makes it great from a heel perspective is that it's not all on him. He would have lost the belt if it wasn't for CM Punk, and that's the part he's conveniently not mentioning. Is that Damian Priest without CM Punk is not a real champion. Another beautiful detail I want to mention, and I'm almost certain this was like partly worked because he's brilliant at his job, is that obviously Damian Priest had that moment where his ankle got tied up in the rope. So later, when he went for the razor's edge, he did it on one foot to really sell that his leg was hurting. I thought that was brilliant. And the fact that he's strong enough to do that to McIntyre on one foot as well, with that level of balance, is quite impressive. But yes, Scottish tears for CM Punk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, a really nice thing I noticed straight away is you can tell that Priest and Drew are having words with each other after the match, which is really cool to see.
Also,
you can tell that the two have such respect for each other.
Also, is it me as CM Punk look like a football manager with his grey beard and his long sleeve black shirt?
Punk wearing the Celtic shirt is so fucking funny. I love it so much. Because people fucking, probably most Americans would have probably think, but you're all from Scotland. You should all love your teams, right? And not realizing the amount of derbies there are in
how
the UK.
How many bloody teams there are in the UK of everything, of every
it's
sport.
It's like they expect if someone came into Manchester and you wore a Man City shirt and people were like, but they're from Manchester, you would cheer, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, they would be to be fair, it'd be mostly people booing, but yeah, because no one gives a fuck about City. But yeah, that was fucking great. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing in the NRL. There's like 8 different teams from Sydney, so it's like it's all, and there's all lots of interpersonal rivalries between them. And like they explained it on commentary. Oh, another thing in the show that I loved was Wade Barrett on commentary. He was so good. He was so good throughout this whole show. And one thing I loved about it was that what did they say? It was like, so there was something about the Scottish crowd were upset about something, and Michael Cole said, oh, is this because of what happened last night on SmackDown? And then Wade Barrett said, no, it's because they lost the football 5-1.
Oh yeah, they lost to Germany 5-1.
And another thing I loved is on the post show, Wade Barrett was so great when he says CM Punk needs to be fired. So now he's getting it. So I love this because this so like this is all very like recent in terms of its surface, because you have Wade, the heel commentator, supporting McIntyre, his UK like friend, and also being part of that whole conspiracy side of things, which he always has been since his NXT days. He's always been the conspiracy commentator. The other thing, this is such a deep bit of lore for me, but these two guys were at odds because they were the leaders of the Nexus back in the day, and Punk kicked Barrett out, and that's how the core was made. So they actually have history together as well. They have always been at beef. The other thing is that when the Nexus first started, CM Punk was beaten up by Wade Barrett's group as well. So as I said, they've always been at odds. So there is a long history, and I would love, I don't know if they're going to do this, because Wade is a commentator, but I'd love if in a promo he got involved with CM Punk. I think that would be excellent. To some degree, because we know that Wade's a great promo. He always has been. It's been his best asset is his talking. To have Wade be, to have Wade be the commentator that always backs up Drew McIntyre is so entertaining. CM Punk should be fired. He's a disgrace to this business. It's awesome. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, the main event was the highlight of the show for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, Champ, your final thoughts on this show?
No, I thought it was very good. I loved it. What do we have next? Money in the Bank. That's going to be hard to predict. But this one was very good.
Yeah, because of
Where
course
do both the champs go next?
This will be this, and funnily enough, you say that Money in the Bank will be 1 year of this channel, because that was the first video we did, was Money in the Bank predictions last year.
And it's going to be hosted in Toronto, Canada.
So it is
a very good crowd.
Toronto's a great crowd.
America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, out of USA, it's in North America.
Okay, out of the Yanks.
Yes, out of the Yanks. You are right, though, because Toronto is different to the USA. They're a great crowd. Love Toronto.
It's so nice to have shows that aren't in America, because then the crowd is actually engaged.
Yeah, because they don't get to see WWE or AEW that often.
Exactly, yeah.
So I reckon they'll come back here for sure.
Yeah. Oh, AEW Dynamite and Collision's coming to Wales as well. It's another big overseas thing.
Yeah, in the lead up to All In.
That's right.
But no, good show. Good show. Glad to be watching it again. Been enjoying it.
Yeah, well, you've been watching it for about 6 months now, I want to say. You've been
I watched the Rumble because I was going to watch the Chamber, obviously, so...
Yeah. Close
Rumble
to 6
was
months.
when I started again.
It will be 6 months by Money in the Bank.
Rumble?
Oh, you can't. It's the best. I mean, there was a on the TLC video of best stipulations, all 3 of them chose Royal Rumble as number 1, which is great. And then on the 10 worst, one of them chose the greatest Royal Rumble as one of the worst because it's so shit.
Also very true.
The fucking Saudi 50-man Rumble with like the fake Yokozuna.
And Titus falling under the ring.
Yeah, well, Titus falling under the ring was one of the best parts. Bloody Braun Strowman winning a belt that doesn't matter. Fun fact, that was Chris Jericho's last WWE match, the greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh, shame.
He came out at number 50.
I saw a photo of him. God, he looks awful.
He sort of, I think, he goes in and out. He had a bit of a scare a couple of years ago, and then he got into really good shape, and then I don't know what he's doing now, but I hope he's healthy. I just think he should, look, I've said this on all the AEW reviews that me and Callum do. Chris Jericho needs to do more music and less wrestling. He needs to be part-time, and he needs to have time off so we actually miss him, and he's not on TV every week.
Yeah, give it up.
I don't care if he's a ratings draw. He's stale.
I hope they do another world tour, because I went to Fozzy live, and he was so good.
Was he entertaining in the same way that he was entertaining at WWE live? Like talking to the crowd?
Yeah, because he would talk during the song.
He would cut promos, cuts promos at his rock concert.
And I wasn't in a Jericho shirt, but I was in a wrestling shirt, and there were a few people around in wrestling shirts.
Yeah. Obviously, though, at a Fozzy concert, he's playing the babyface.
Yeah, but no, he needs to do a world tour, because they're so good.
It would be weird to play a heel at a rock concert, wouldn't it? You all suck. Why are you here? Why are you paying for my music? You people. Yeah. Callum, your final thoughts on Clash at the Castle?
Punk appeared and cost Drew the title, so it's a 10 out of 10 show.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
but I like the show a lot. There was some really good stuff. 1 or 2 results didn't go my way, but I will. But I enjoyed the show a whole bunch. The opening match and final match were fantastic. I love them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the one thing, though, that I will say, I'm missing the Tribal Chief.
Yeah. I think I'll be back soon. Okay.
But we got Jacob Fatu, which is something, and I'm happy about that.
And where the hell's Jimmy Uso?
He got booted out, and he's going to reappear at some point, I assume.
Guess he's taking time off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see you on AEW Forbidden Door for the number 1 contenders predictions. And then we'll see you for Money in the Bank. That should be a big show. I bid you adieu, a good night.